When I'm blue, I think of you in your eyes. How they look at mine, so kinda like that. You slow down time and everything's just fine. I was ocean swimming with just wishful thinking of my life, the vision drifting by until I found a lighthouse in your heart. Shining like a beacon of bright stars. I was alive for wandering far until I found a lighthouse guiding me out the when I'm scared, I send a flare and you're here in a flash. When I ask, oh dear love, where did we come from? You say the light is on. I had the will and mission, but the wrong position. I was open, praying for a sign until I found a lighthouse in your heart. Shining like a beacon of bright stars. I was alive for wandering far until I found a lighthouse guiding me out the dark. You guided me out the dark.
Welcome to LXC.
Down in the ramp again, where champions ascend. Warden League lights the night, diamond dreams burn bright. Tournament's heart beats fast, LXC is here at last. Amateurs with skill to prove, in this battle groove. Diamond rank, shining pure, victory is near for sure. In the LXC we'll soar, rising up we'll take the floor.
Into these fights, and we just saw that the side of the Mints, they got the engages that they needed. They clutched up when
gas.
needed.
Piglet tosses out the Nature's Grasp. They're trying to engage onto the Vex, but the Vex are already going to get taken down, on the top side of the fight. Darius trying to make something happen. He does get those passive stacks up, and there are a couple of health bars that did get extremely low. Larry is going to get taken down just barely, but now it's only the Lulu who's left on the side of the kit. The flash forward for Colm. They look to take down the Anivia, but she had Egg. She buys the extra time, and the Nara is here trying to keep the Egg alive. Can they do it? The Anivia gets taken down, but the team fight, it still might be won by Cryptic as Colm trying to take matters into his own hands. The Tornado takes down the Maokai, but now he's in a 1v2 against Just King.
We didn't go over our roles, so I guess I'm welcoming everybody in today. Tonight we got the last week of Warden. It's do or die for ID Ignite. Gonna be taking on Goofy Gooners in this cross division matchup. My name is Righteous. Joined with me is Lala Land. Lala, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. What about you, Righteous?
I'm doing a-okay. I'm excited to be here. This is where League gets fun when it's these elimination matches, and for ID Ignite, that's exactly what it is. If they win, they are in. If they lose, they are out of playoffs.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Gotta reset my client here. We love Riot and Buggy clients, right?
Oh yeah, small indie company, right?
Been a long season of Warden, and I'm sure ID would love to make the playoffs. They do have that head-to-head against TDK. So fate is in their own hands. Goofy Gooners have already cemented their spot as the 5th seed of Sector 2. Interesting. Okay, so producer tell me that Goofy Gooners has agreed to a tiebreaker match against Contingent Esport Orange in the event that they do lose this series, but we got a lot of time before that ultimately might end up happening as we are getting into the lobby. At least I'm getting into the lobby and behind the ball here. There we go. Waiting on a couple of members for both these teams to get us ready for draft. Well, how much have you casted Warden this split?
I think maybe once or twice. I've been all over, so I haven't
Yeah,
kept
yeah.
up.
Yeah, so ID has the fifth spot on the line. That would be a game against Tilt Esport Apotheosis for the play-ins. That'd be next week. But if they lose, their season is over.
Mhm.
We will see how this game goes. Gotta get pulled. Okay. You're just telling me there's also some other implications on the upper side of the bracket for Sector 2. Looking over at their standings. If Mint Gaming loses and Cryptic and Elite Kittens win their respective matches, there could be a three-way tie for first seed of Sector 2. Mint Gaming has control of that seed so long as they do win. And then there would be a potential tie between 2 and 3, between Kittens and Cryptic. So lots of different scenarios over in Sector 2. Sector 1 seems pretty wrapped up, except for the first seed, correct? Dorado Gaming Shy and Akuma Scimitars will be trying to play for that. So far, Dorado wins. They keep that first seed. They keep that first round bye. And we'll take the winner of the play-ins, potentially ID Ignite if they're able to win this game. But nobody's seed is safe, it looks like so far. It's going to come down to this last week. Just waiting for both these teams to start the draft up. Goofy Gooners will be down 2 pens for game 1. I imagine that's because of a E-sub. Late roster post. Okay. So didn't follow the back end rules. Gonna be punished because of that. Hate to see it. But it happens. Goofy Gooners, of course, like they said, they would be willing to play a tiebreaker match with Contingent Esport Orange if they do manage to lose this series. You know, myself being heavily involved in Sentinel, it's interesting to see how both of these sectors stack up here in Warden. It doesn't look like one is heavily advantaged over the other. Instead, it looks like all of these teams kind of neck and neck with each other. We do have a top and bottom half of each sector, but ID Ignite trying to squeak on in there with that last second come from behind win in the final week to take that seed away from TDK. Checks are coming out. And I believe we should be into draft shortly. See some familiar faces. Some guys that have been around the block here for comp leagues.
Uh-huh.
It'll be exciting to see how they do. I was trying to find any like interesting stats. It does seem like the 80 carry of ID Ignite, one of the better at keeping themselves alive. Number 10 on the leaderboard for KDA. But then outside of that, seems like both of these teams are going to stack up pretty nicely into each other to be a close contested series. We are finally live for draft. La La Land, what are you expecting here in the draft? We've seen a first stand going on over in Korea. It's been a full season of games for all these teams in LXC. Any staple picks you imagine going to be picked up here?
if we do see it, maybe Vibe. I'm thinking Cho'Gath because I know Cho'Gath and Garen are still OP because of Axiom. It's not Axiom Arc. It's the other tree that lets your ult do more damage by like a
Mhm.
certain amount of percent. I know that's still running around. It doesn't matter how much you nerf it, right? It's still broken.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gonna be interesting to see. So Draven, Braum, and Maokai taken off the board for Goofy Goomers. The one lone first phase ban against ID Ignite gonna be that Nico. So lots on the table for ID Ignite to potentially pick here on B1. And it's gonna be one of those staple picks we've seen at least over in first 10. That Varus basically pick and ban over there. Varus, of course, has a luxury of a couple of different builds he could go to kind of fill in the gaps for his comp. I like the versatility. Gonna be hovered by a Jinx for Goofy Gooners.
I would
Imagine
imagine
everything locked.
if it's Jinx, I would imagine this would be either we're gonna get Jinx Milio, Jinx Lulu, or we're gonna get a super hard engage, right? Maybe not. Maybe Nautilus, maybe Leona. If they want a blind support, that's fine. But I
Yeah,
would
blinding
think
support seems a little bit scary. I imagine they go jungle here, but no, it's gonna be that Leona that you're talking about, locked
okay.
in for R2. Interesting. So ID gets the prio pick Varus plus the potential counter pick in the support matchup. So Ignite has all the tools to be a little lane dominant there on the bottom side of the map. We'll have to see if they're able to do so.
Regis, do you think we're gonna get a Darius jungle?
I mean, if there is a week to do it, it's this week, right? Because it gets nerfed next patch. So
Yep.
I would be excited for it. It's gonna be Cassante locked in for ID Ignite. Staple pick. One of those champions that could control the tempo of the lane. This is, pre-lane swap nerf, so a blind pickup here is totally fine by ID Ignite. Very safe in lane, can be a menace in the team fight as well with that backline access.
We're all gonna be picked here for ID Ignite too, maybe locking in. That's their third pick.
Yeah, real an interesting pick. I was expecting something like potentially a Renata or something that could bully that Leona lane. Try to get that lane prio for the dragon. Instead, it's gonna be kind of a handshake between those two supports. So look for junglers to be active often down in the bottom lane, as they have plenty of setup down there.
CM Bessa being hovered and we'll be locked in.
Okay. So 200 years in the top lane between Cassante and Mbessa. A skill matchup. I would say it's probably Cassante favored for a little bit until Mbessa can get that Omni Vamp going once she hits 6. Really just depends on the mechanical prowess of both of these top laners. We have a couple second round bans coming through. Wukong going to be taken away from ID Ignite. Yasuo going to be the response. 2 more bans to go. Lissandra. Interesting.
And then Echo.
Okay. I get the Lissandra pick, right? It definitely makes Mbessa hard to do what she wants to do if there's a Lissandra player on the Rift. Once you go in, you kind of just get stunned up to oblivion, especially with that Cassante, that Rel, that Varus as well. So that's going to be taken off the board. And that Cho'Gath that you were talking about earlier, hovered, hasn't been locked yet. But with Mbessa already on the table, I believe that's going to be a blind Cho'Gath mid. Interesting stuff from Goofy Gooners.
I think it's really safe too. They want a safe blind pick, not knowing what their mid laner is gonna get. And this is a counter pick jungle pick from Goofy Gooners. Unless this is Mbessa jungle or Cho jungle. We don't know. We can see everything happening.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I'd imagine that these are the solo laners locked in for Goofy Gooners, so we'll have to see. Not so often that you see the R5 jungle pickup. Maybe they're saving for like a surprise pick. I'm trying to think of what might go well here. A Kindred maybe, something along those lines. But for the jungler of ID Ignite, it's going to be the Lilia locked in. Really good pickup into the 3 melees that we see from Goofy Gooners. Going to have lots of opportunity to make use of that ultimate. We'll say there was a Lilia bug going around where the ultimate just wasn't going through. I don't know if that's still going on. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. And Tristana mid locked in for the last pick of Ignite.
Okay. Matchup for this Tristana, knowing that Cho'Gath can't really gap close too well, but if Cho'Gath does catch Tristana just lacking or not having jump, it's gonna be a very rough day for Tristana.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the name of the game for Goofy Gooners here, right? If they get on top of the carries of ID Ignite, they're not gonna have a good time. But that's a big if. Plenty of self peel and other tools to potentially deal with them. As that's gonna be an R5 Nunu for Goofy Gooners. When was the last time we saw R5 Nunu? Probably never.
Yeah, that's a never. I think it's comfort pick. I do think Lilia does. I think Lilia does way better than Nunu in this situation. But then Goofy Gooners, like you said, they're just probably just they're looking at the draft like we have to go into this back line, right? Nunu, Nunu's good at ejector control, but I kind of disagree on this Nunu pick.
Yeah,
We'll see.
talk to me a
Maybe.
little bit about the drafts here, because from my point of view, ID Ignite has plenty of tools to create space into the 4 melee matchups of Goofy Gooners. And if that's the case, I mean Jinx, yeah, she'll be hitting the front line, but that backline access that the red side needs, I don't know if it's really gonna go through. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll find some picks, but it seems scary to try to run past a Rel, a Lilia, a Cassante. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. Also, even with ID Ignite, they have lockdown too, right? Cassante can take someone out. Rao can pull them in. They just have so much. They have so much tools and utility going on for ID Ignite. Goofy Gooners, they have to play front and back here, and with this kind of lineup, where I'm basically they're praying that Jinx doesn't get hit or just gets dove on. But I think ID Ignite has the tools to go in. I think if Goofy Gooners have a chance, they're gonna have to like really force this show to just try to get a big ulti off, though it's true damage with that mark when execute mark happens. I would hope that they try to get picks, but this is a really rough game for Goofy Gunners just draft wise so far.
Yeah, I think the name of the game for both of these squads is objective access, specifically being at the objective first. Because while there is some engaged from both of these teams, you have like I guess the new snowball for Goofy Gooners, the Leona ult, the Imbecile ult. For ID Ignite, you have the rail go in button. Outside of that, the engaged tools are kind of lacking for both these sides. They have plenty of tools to deal with teams that are trying to play into them. But if they're trying to get on top of each other, which I mean, the team that has Mbessa, Nunu, Leona, it seems like that's what they want to do. It's going to be really hard. So look for both these teams to try to find some lane pros, try to game the map a little bit to be at the objective first. Otherwise, I feel like once you're late to an objective, you just got to go make a play somewhere else because it looks like a losing proposition for either of these teams. We'll have to see.
Mm-hmm. I do agree with you there.
The predictions are live, so go ahead and get your gamble on. So when are we gonna get some fun stuff for the points? You're gonna be like a 1v1 Soul Keeper or something. Um, either way, make sure you get your predictions in, win some points, and so when those fun prizes come out, you guys can be stocked up, ready to go. I mean, we're just waiting for the in-game client side of things. Are there any final thoughts for you for this drafting phase, this game one, Lala? I mean, what's your prediction here?
I really like ID Ignites, so I'm gonna go with ID Ignites. I think Goofy Gooners. I think they might pull a miracle. Maybe they're just them. They got the dog in them. Hopefully they do. But my obvious point, draft wise, is looking at it. It has to be ID Ignites. They have so much tools and utility.
I would tend to agree. All I know is looking at the 10 champions that have been locked in, I think we're going to be in for a messy one. I think there's going to be some skirmishes that probably shouldn't happen, some engages that teams will wish they had back. I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise me, but I think it's gonna be a fun one regardless. We're gonna throw it to a quick break, and when you guys see us, we'll be back onto the Rift for game 1.
I've heard stories of distant lands, realms I long to reach. Your voice, it beckons me to go to worlds unexplored, to leave behind my home and wander.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the 8th the Warden. Me and Righteous are here. Blue side, we have ID Ignite, and the red side, we have Goofy Gooners.
A little bit of an invade happening here.
Yup.
I feel like the Ambessa has great positioning, can just walk right back into the river.
Uh,
And that's exactly what she's going to do. So I don't expect anything to happen. If Goofy Gooners are being proactive, wards would come out on the red side. Looks like they're going to get it late.
Still trying to collapse here, but I think ID Ignite will just cut their losses and just walk back. Okay, nothing too scary. Could have been scary.
So this is Warden, so we expect some higher level of play. Should be noted that the ward in that tribe bush was actually Nunu's. If they think it's Ambessa's, maybe Lilia tries to yank early on top side if they think she doesn't have a ward, but actually wasn't hers, so we'll have to track that and see. But it looks like both of these junglers could be clearing down to the bot side.
Yep. I do want to also commend ID Ignite for clearing that ward on the Raptor. Bro, not
Yeah.
taking wards and just sweeping that. I wish my support would do that, but he doesn't.
So this is interesting, and I like this adaptation. Kush. I'm not quite sure how to say the name. Pretty sure it's Kush. With that comment there, gonna be the lethality poke Varus, which when you see like Nunu and Shogath and Leona, you're like, oh, maybe the damage is gonna lack, into the mid to late game. But it's 4 melees that really have no sustain. There's not like a, Soraka Milio on the side of Goofy Gooners. So that poke, we were talking about the power of being at the objectives first. Gonna be kind of nasty to deal with for the side of Goofy Gooners if this Varus is able to get ahead.
I do agree with that. So far, the early game was just everyone trying to full clear on the jungles and just trades, Classical, I poke you, you poke me with a stick and see who wins.
This is
Nothing
real
too
League of
good.
Legends. No lane swaps, no funny business. Just straight up lane in here in the early portions of this game.
Nothing out of the ordinary. It just seems like a classic of 3 minutes of fun.
Yep. Looks like the Nunu. Benefit of clearing from top to bot on red side means the blue side clear is how you finish out that clear. Gonna be slightly ahead of pace for this Lilia. And with his bot lane getting the push on the lane, I don't expect ID Ignite to try to contest for this scuttle. Yep, and Lily is just gonna back and try to head on top.
It's a little trades top lane too. This is a very calm game with these champions. Very calm.
Yeah, I mean, for ID Ignite, we talked about it, right? This is win or go home. You extend your split as we see. Oh, hold this thought,
Nunu
Nunu.
coming in, and Nunu trying to get this level 1 kill towards the
Oh
Cho'Gath,
my.
and that's gonna. Oh! I
Not
lied.
enough.
Tristana gets out.
I was worried
Blades.
because the Tristana didn't buffer with the W. Actually got knocked up by the snowball partway through. But she got the E reset off with the flash, able to save her own life. It does mean that Tristana is not going to have flash for the next 5 minutes.
Yep.
And we've all played solo queue. We've seen Nunu gank mid often with those snowballs.
Yep. I will not be righteous. I do the same thing on Nunu and Gang.
That's all he does. He's just in all the lanes constantly.
Yep.
But yeah, to your point, up until that point was pretty slow sailing. Jazz Goblin gonna be
Yeah.
slowed up.
Roger Morris coming in. Lilia's looking for the kill. There is a flash on the Cho'Gath. He will flash. Will Lilia flash over? Nope.
Red
But the
buff,
passive will
burn.
kill.
Dang, Jazz Goblin. And this is a Cho'Gath that's not gonna be very tanky, right? We see the Halo Blades. It means it's a race car Cho'Gath. Gonna have some health to his name, but not a lot of resistances. And we were talking with the producer before we got into this game. Every Cho'Gath mid I've seen in LXC, doesn't matter the league, has always struggled, and Jazz Goblin off to a auspicious start.
I've also seen a lot of mid laners take symbiotic shoes too, so both of them here on Tristana and on race car Cho'Gath, of course, will have it.
I feel like, I mean, I don't play Nunu. I don't see him all that much.
Oh, the
With
all
those
out going out
boots?
here.
Just gonna
Nice.
force the flash.
Oh, woo!
It's close.
What a very close. Sheen, Batman was ready to strike on Gotham. Did not go
Okay,
through.
Going back to what I was talking about, I think Nunu, I mean, would he not love the symbiotic souls as well?
Yes, I actually really like it on Nunu just because you're always doing, you want to be everywhere, and Snowball takes you from Fountain to at least tier 2, almost to tier 1, right? And you'll be everywhere. Would be a great item for Nunu, but I believe Goofy Gooners won't be picking it up here.
So
Like
this is interesting. One Grup was cured by that Cho'Gath used the level 6 on that epic, so got a stack from it and denied the 3 Grup take response for ID Ignite, and they're picking up Dragon as well. So in terms of the feats of strength, not going to be able to pick up any of the epic objectives for ID Ignite. They are up, a little bit of gold here, as kind of expected, you would think. But a nice adaptation from that Cho'Gath mid to kind of deny the 3 grubs.
Yep. Very good. He's abusing what he can do, right? He has a.
Oh,
kill
we were
button.
talking about it. No flash. Uses the ults.
Leona's here to come to secure too, and that will be a kill towards Goofy Gooners.
That's like, hey, try moving. And Tristana
see-
could not.
The top lane fight here gonna unravel, but we see 3 members of Goofy Gooners versus only
Ooh,
jungle,
the flash.
and that'll be a solo kill for the Cassante without a doubt. Jinx Rocket going to connect, but will only hit Lilia the sleep here. Double ults will be dropped, but Nuno will drop the ulti there and will catch Cassante, but they are chasing
Ooh.
down Lilia. Lilia trying to kite out, trying to get out, but Leona will flash stun the snowball to deny the W back, and that will be feats of warfare towards Goofy Gooners. And 3 kills toward Nuno? Did Nuno get 3 kills during
Yeah.
this first section?
You got 3 kills, and this is phase rush. I imagine going to be full AP in Nunu. We talked about how the fights might be hard for Goofy Gooners to actually follow through with as the game goes on. But with that skirmish win and the 2 objectives, so, I mean, from that set of plays, they got the feat of warfare, they got 2 epics, so they're already 1 away, and they built themselves about 1,000 gold lead. So it's going to be up to them to kind of run with this lead. Otherwise, I do believe ID Ignite probably scales a little bit better, probably has an easier team fight setup. But a great start for him here.
A very, very great start. I do like that 1v1 boldness though from Batman.
Yeah.
Right into there. That was very good. And we have supportal combat. They're just tickling each other with that aftershock.
Yep. It's like the ultimate wet noodle fight. Oh,
Oh.
nice little engage from Batman.
It's Cassante. Cassante does not commit with the ult there. And this is just okay. Gonna knock back. Gonna push back towards the wall. Cassante's gonna ult
Oh,
the Ambessa back towards the river. He's gonna try to go all out here, trying to secure the kill. Third Q knockback. Another passive hit with the grab stack with Sheen, and he's gonna be able to pick up that kill. 1v1 there.
that was obvious that Kazante has been nerfed, right? From that
Oh
little
yeah,
trade.
for sure, right? Cassante is not a problem still, right?
Yeah, unplayable. I mean, I'm surprised he got that kill with all those nerfs going through. Of course, I am being a little bit sarcastic. Kush has to be careful. I think this is a dead Varus.
Bear's gonna be playing there. Damn, that was a lot of Larry CC there for sure.
Yeah,
Even Gooners-
no cleanse from Varus is actually kind of questionable. We see a Leona. I feel like you have to take cleanse as the cleanse stacks. Opted not to do so. Didn't really help him there.
Row here, looking for the engage. They know that Lilia's here to help.
Oh,
ID Ignite. Will they be able to pick up the Jinx? They will, I believe. That's gonna be a single sleep to kill the Jinx here. But Nunu here trying to get this Lilia here. But Lilia is outliving here. Full Conqueror stack trying to get it. But we just see Rel taking all the time Nunu has. Varus is here to back up. But Nunu will be able to get that kill. Will they get the
Is Nunu
return kill
out?
here?
holy moly! Nunu is out.
And
That's
Nunu's up.
crazy.
But we do see Cho'Gath down here and not going to gank. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the potential power of the Lilia, that Alcove Gaming, playing just to the extremes of her range. Fortunately, not enough. Mike Angel able to pick up that kill and get out with his own life, skin of his teeth. But this is a very close, contested game. Dragon coming up here. In under 30 seconds. Lily on the top side of the map. Interesting that they want to give this objective.
I
Maybe they
would really guess if ID Ignite are trying to guess which objective they're gonna fight for. But the bot lane gank from Nunu here gonna try to kill Varus, but Varus is gonna flash out, gonna be safe there. They're gonna walk away, not bother fighting the Rel at all. We do see Cassante once again all out, gonna be fighting it, but the W does not connect, gonna be stuck on the sidewall there, not be able to dash, and Mbessa almost died. The Q3 not gonna connect, but will commit the flash there for Mbessa.
Yeah, and this Cassante, very scary. Already 20 CS up on Aeolus.
You
2
see
kills
Nunu's
as
here?
well. Nunu's here.
Connect, buffer happens. 3v2. Goofy Gooners have an extra member. Ulti away. The Cho'Gath will be able to connect, and we do see Lilia running out. But is Tristana dead? Will we know?
I think Tristana's just gonna go down here.
Snowball's not gonna connect. Q.
Wait,
Cho'Gath's not
A
gonna
W?
connect.
Potentially?
Get out! No, he won't.
Oh.
And Nunu will take the kill.
Mike Angel kind of a menace on this Nunu. Looking like Kesha out here.
Yeah.
5-0 already at this
He does
point.
play like Kesha, or carry at least. He has 5 kills. He has a lot of gold on this Nunu. The snowball coming in here. 2v3, not gonna be able to connect. We do see that Casante's a little bit low on mana, but nothing will happen here.
2-man ult just secure that last grub, so no void mites this game. However, the feats of strength were already secured by Goofy
They're
Gooners.
gonna go for the Cho'Gath here.
Oh.
Rel ult gonna connect. The TP from Tristana and Lily are gonna be there. A man up knowing that Nunu wouldn't go clear. Well, they're looking for a little bit more, but just Leona 2 tanky. It's gonna walk away.
All right. So I'm gonna need you in my ear. How do you pronounce the support for ID Ignite's name? Because that could get real scary real fast. I will say that Rel looked really good though. That flash Q to set up the kill, picking up Jazz Goblin in the process. Zhixing is what I have told. I would have not come close. So thank you for that. And the gold lead has been back and forth this game. Only about 500 gold separating these two teams right now in the favor of ID Ignite. However, 2 dragons have already been secured by Goofy Gooners. 5-0 Nunu means Ignite's really got to be careful around these objectives. As we see CB Batman once again.
Again, taking all out. 1v1 gonna happen once again. And Best is gonna do the ulti. They're gonna
No
brawl it
flash.
out. And the third key will connect. Will he fall? Yes, and Bessa does fall for the 1v1, but we do have two members here. Bot lane of Goofy Gooners are gonna be here. But we do see another side. Bot lane of ID Ignite are gonna be fighting here. Nunu gonna drop the ulti, gonna pick up the Varus here.
Gonna be 2 kills for the Nunu. This is
Yep,
a
so-
7-0 Nunu that's about to happen. Nope. Jazz wanted the chomp. Yeah, makes sense. Get him the stack.
And that's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade. What an interesting game. Both lanes getting ganked by bot laners.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, a really nice move up from Jokic and Jaden Jewel to secure that kill. And Bessa did go down in the process. Hasn't been her game so far. Aeolios struggling into CB Batman on this Cassante. I mean, CB Batman's been pretty clinical, right? Like, we've seen the trading pattern. It's been the same way on all 3 of those kills. He really knows how to handle the Cassante. But, I mean, that's a 3-1 Jinx, a 6-0 Nunu, and a 2,000
Flash
gold
there
lead.
from Lilia. It's gonna drop the ulti single man there, but Vera's gonna do big damage there. They're gonna pick that up. Again, Cassante has no care in the world, just running at the Symbessa.
And, I mean, why would he be scared, right? He's 3 for 3 and taking it to the Mbessa, but this time, I don't know if he could take the 3v1.
He's gonna try the unstoppable, does not have the ulti to go over wall. Oh, he does have ulti.
Oh,
He does take the Embezzer across the wall, all out attack. Gonna try to trade it 1v1, but he's trying to get out. Will Z-Sing get out? The Embezzer ulti gonna connect there. They're gonna get the support of ID Ignite, and Rel will not get out of there. But, you know, the boy Cassante gets out.
save the Cassante. True definition of support will give their own life for the top lane carry. And does go down. That does mean tempo has been created for this Rift Herald. All 4 members of Goofy Gooners are going to be close to that objective. CB Batman needs to be careful. I imagine he's just going to pick up this wave and then take the back. Pings from ID Ignite on to the Dragon. But they're going to be meeting Goofy Gooners here. And really, if the Nunu gets positioning around this objective, I'm not quite sure how ID Ignite's going to be able to approach
But then they're
Jaded
gonna
Jewel.
fight here for this control of ID Ignite. Poking back, and they all both retreat here. Dragon is spawned. Are we gonna get a rift mid to create a little bit of pressure here? Never mind. No rift mid.
Oh, this is an aggressive TP. Jazz Goblin. Mike Angel waiting for CB. I mean, the new TP changes. Takes 5 to 6 business days to get anywhere on the map.
I do agree with that.
But the Rift, or the
Oh,
Dragon
the
has been
fight
started.
The ID Ignite, Rel ulti gonna connect, Nunu ulti gonna drop, but they're gonna kill Nunu so fast. Shutdown goes to Lilia. A 5v4. ID Ignite have the man up. Cassante will take out Leona. We see Embessa on the backside. Cho'Gath will chomp the ADC of ID Ignite, but the top laner of GG will be falling there. Goofy Gooners, only member alive is going to be Jazz Goblin, the Cho'Gath. He's trying to look for anything, but CB Batman with a 3rd Q knocking back, and ID Ignite will win the fight, trading 1 for 5.
Yeah, and you know, not to toot my own horn, but before we got into this game, I said, look, if one team starts an objective and you're the other team, I really don't think you have any business being there at that point. And that's about how it went, right? It was a 5-for-1 trade and a Dragon to boot in favor of ID Ignite. 2,000 gold is the lead for them now, and they are off to the races. But honestly, at this point, it's anybody's game. It's been back and forth. It's like they're playing table tennis out here, just ping-ponging the gold lead.
So we do see Rift Herald still not used. I thought Nunu picked up Rift Herald, but Cho'Gath has Rift Herald.
This is a fast Cho'Gath. Has that Shurelia's, has that Deadman's. Very squishy though, as we saw in that last fight. CB Batman doing a ton of work in that dragon fight as well. 5-2 and 3, 6-2 and 2 is Rigor Mortis on this Lilia. Top side of ID Ignite, holding it down as the 80 carries will be doing their some scaling things, but
Well, we see two fights happen. They're trying to collapse on Tristana. Tristana doesn't even need the buffer, and the ulti would just shoot both of them away. At 3v2 mid lane, they're just having an extended fight here. Nothing too big, you know. They're just, you know, bullets with arrows, arrows with bullets.
yeah, true.
And
Aelios needs help. I'm telling you that the whole world that this Ambessa's not having fun, and if they're not careful, this 4-1 that could develop from ID Ignite could do some damage. But this is Otacon started up with all 10 members still on the map.
yeah, we do see the rest of ID Ignite coming down here, or coming up there for it, but they're just gonna chomp it away. And they
Brutus Otacon though, the roses are still on the ground, and it looks like ID Ignite is gonna be able to pick all of them up. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. We do see 4 members both here. Ro did commit the jump in, but Goofy Goobers did not want to fight that. We do see the trade happen again. Do we see the 1v1 happen all out again? CB Batman, this is the 4th time.
Nunu is
1-on-1.
on the way.
Will he commit for the kill? He knows that no one's that. Oh, but the Abyssal under the tower, and we'll get that avenge kill. But
Ooh. I think Mike Angel a little upset that Aelios got that 1v1. Didn't even get the assist. A flash of frustration, perhaps. Maybe just having fun. 7-1 and 3 on the Nunu. I don't think he really needs the kill at this point.
I think it's about the message, not the kill.
Maybe.
Anyways, that was an interesting thing to watch. You know, double flash.
Yeah, I do want to look at the gold leads that have developed here. 21 minutes in, top lane, despite losing in that 1v1, about 2,000 gold up. Is this Cassante? The junglers, Lily about 700 gold on this Nunu. That is 7-1 and 3. As we see tier 1 mid go down. Mid lane, the Tristana about 1,000 gold up. Really the only gold lead, individual gold lead for Goofy Gooners is this Jinx. A little over 1,000 gold on the Varus.
Just to cut you off a little bit, Tristana, they're getting the outer turret for top lane, and with the symbiotic shoes, actually gets out before they collapsed on her, even with Race Car, Cho'Gath, and Nunu running up there. Yeah, that good tech.
I mean, if you're gonna play, if you're gonna play the 1-3-1, right? We've all seen the power of the split push Tristana. I mean, it's been a staple of Team Liquid for like 2 years now. Now that you get the Baron recall whenever you want it, it makes sense, right? Push as far as you can, take a fast back, make the other team kind of figure out how to respond to it. So far, it's been good looks.
No. We do see that Goofy Gooners are actually balling up as a 4-man here, knowing that Ambessa can't match this Cassante.
Oh.
Oh, they're gonna walk into the river here. There is a Varus ulti committed, but won't be able to get in those. Real ulti jumping in the back. We do see Cassante TP over. The sleep was gonna connect into 2 people at
This
least.
is a messy
This
fight.
is a fight. This is gonna be a rough fight for Goofy Gooners, because I feel like IG Ignite are gonna go in. We just see Cassante in the backline just doing what he can. Oh, they're gonna chop the Lilia away, but this is just CB's Batman's domain. He's
Quadra.
3 kills in. Shut down towards them, but look at them chase this race car down. Not gonna
I don't
be able
know
to
if they're gonna catch him.
Oh,
they
but Ross
do.
gonna connect with the W mount, and that's gonna be a quadra kill to this bully, this man of 200 years. You nerf him, he comes back saying, "How? How do
Yeah,
you
this-
nerf him?"
This is definitely nerfed Cassante. Honestly, it's amazing that he's 9-3 at this point. You'd expect him to be like 20-0. No, just being a little bit facetious. Cassante is still doing Cassante things. Might have overextended here on the bot side though.
Oh, 3 members here for Goofy Gooners. They're gonna be looking at it. Doesn't have the ulti to go over the wall, but he is just living a little too long. But he's still gonna fall, and Jinx will be able to pick up that shutdown gold. Not Mike Angel, the Nunu taking it again.
Yeah, I mean, that was a messy dragon fight setup by Goofy Gooners. It was like 2 different fights happening on 2 different fronts, and with a team comp that wants to just pile in on top of each other and make, madness work as a group, that really can't happen. So it was a pretty easy fight for ID Ignite to take, but with Cassante down, they have the confidence to start up this drag. Or Baron. It's already below half health.
And Cho'Gath Chomp will be able to take Baron out. Will Goofy Gooners be able to get out here without any cost here? But we do
Tristana
see
in
that.
mid picks up a tier 2, and as long as the chase comes
Ignite.
through,
Yep. 1 member is marked. They're trying to reset for it. Oh, Ralph's gonna miss that flash Q. Gonna cancel at least 3 other members max here. Only Jinx is around, but we do see Tristana rotating out, going to the bot lane here. Nunu's trying to connect here, but won't be able
really
to.
searching. But Ninja Shoyo should be out. Actually, he
Yep.
might have rolled himself
Oh.
to his death. Oh, nope.
He gets out.
Yeah, they didn't have any vision there, so they didn't want to actually take that fight. They didn't know if the whole team was going to be waiting behind that Nunu. It's been interesting though. So obviously, great Baron take by Goofy Gooners. There was no response coming out from ID Ignite. However, the difference between the 2 teams is that when the objective was started and they know they couldn't get in, Tristana was able to get a tier 2 and almost all of that inhibitor tower as well. Looking for those cross map trades instead of just throwing themselves in and dying, which Goofy Gooners has done a couple of times now. And so while the Baron was secured, it is a gold lead for ID Ignite. Jixing gonna be able to walk out.
Okay. Not committing too much for the side of Goofy Gooners.
And with that Baron, the pressure is on them to kind of dig into this gold lead, kind of close the gap. We'll be able to pick up this tier 1 on a top. But if all they get is 1 tower, really not going to be considering that worth. So we'll have to see. Got plenty of time to make something happen, but I'm always critical of teams that take Baron and can't really seem to find a way to do anything with it. This is a way to get back into the game, potentially even get a gold lead.
I do agree. All right.
Did you see a pause come through? Honestly, what's an LXC stream without a pause?
You're right about that. There's always got to be 1 pause.
Yeah. So a little bit of a connection issue with the ADC of ID Ignite. So we're going to wait out this pause and see. Hopefully it's not too long. Looking at the game state, so to speak. It is about a 3,000 gold lead for ID Ignite. The drags are even. The grubs are even. Really, the only thing they can hold their hat on is they do have that 2 tower lead with the inhibitor turrets close to being cracked in both mid and bot. But really, this is anybody's game. It's been a couple of messy fights that have kind of undone Goofy Gooners. But if they're able to kind of tighten the ship and look to maybe catch somebody out or layer that CC that we saw done so beautifully in the earlier stages of the game, they could definitely turn this around. But Jazz Goblin,
I'm taking that trade, and we're gonna get into that spectator delay where we sit here and awkwardly hear noises.
yeah, I will say the race car Cho'Gath really good into the squishy members of ID Ignite. I mean, if he can find the 1v1, can definitely take it. I don't know how well it's gonna fare into the 9-4 Cassante, but Nunu is on his way.
Yep, they have 4
Nice
members here
unstoppable.
trying to get this Cassante. They're all rotating down. Bot lane's gonna be down here. Only member that's not here is Mbessa. This will be looking like a kill, maybe. He's gonna go all out
Ooh.
trying to escape, but runs into the Cho'Gath mob and gets chomped.
So
Away.
it could be a good death if Varus is able to knock down this tower, or
Yep.
if they're able to
but
find a kill on top.
Mbessa's gonna ult right back into her doom. Into Tristana.
Yeah, interesting decision there to go back in. This will be a tier 2 secured by ID Ignite. So honestly, a little bit of tempo created by CB Batman's death. Have you been watching a lot of Los Ratones lately?
Yes, I have actually.
That was reminiscent of a little bit of a boss play, where you got to send 4 people to deal with this guy, and so they're able to win out on the other side of the map. So, with this Baron, it looks like all that Goofy Gooners was able to secure is that tier 1 tower on the top side and a tier 2 on the bottom. So the gold lead remains about 3,000 in favor of ID Ignite.
Drag spawning up pretty soon, in about a minute or so, and everyone else is setting up. Cho'Gath committing a TP to be here with all these 4 members.
So we talked a little bit about it. It's going to be scary now for ID Ignite to really approach this, especially with this Death Brush. Rigor Mortis has to be careful. A nice blue ward spots out those members of Goofy Gooners.
They're putting Vision up right now. They do have an extra member. They do not have the Cassante, CB Batman. Rotating over, has a flank angle. Look at Trist, Ninja
Yeah.
Sojo.
I was just about to
Going
say
in.
that that mid lane pressure going to be tough to deal with for this
Oh.
Goofy Gooner squad.
Big stun there to deny the snowball. That's going to be in hip tower. We're going to see Z-Sing go in. Tristana's not going to hop over, trying to buff. I think looking for a buffer was going to get picked up. Shutdown goes to Jinx. This is looking good for Goofy Gooners. Looking very bad for ID Ignite. We see Cassandra here getting just CC'd there. The Unstoppable was canceled.
Yeah, the pick came through. Zhixing was a little bit too far forward, got caught out. Looked to engage because that's all she could do at that point on the rail.
Yeah, but we're looking for more still. Leona's going to flash with a Zenith play. Not going to connect there, but we do see Joker's just poking them out.
And so that will be the double chomps coming through on that dragon. So that will be soul point secured by Goofy Gooners. A little bit of a misstep from ID Ignite. I liked what they were doing. They knew they couldn't walk into the river, so let's put pressure on mid. And if they were able to kind of push and pull with that pressure, it would have basically made it so that you're either fully engaging onto the dragon for Goofy Gooners, or you have to just go chase the Trist off of your towers. Instead, the misstep, the 2 kills, means that didn't go through.
We do see here that Goofy Gooners are going to walk up. They're going to connect the Zenith blade onto the rail. This looks like a commit here. Nunu snowballs are going to connect. Tristana's going to
That's just a repeat of what we just saw in mid. Zhixing gets caught out, and then Tristana follows as well. The only difference now is CB Batman back in that 1v1 that he has so desperately wanted.
They're both just going to do their all out again. Going to be committing. That's a big chunk of damage coming from Cassandre, but Mbessa's going to ult right back, trying to get as much damage as possible here. This 1v1's looking more in favor of CB Batman, and he will be able to take it. Baron is going to fall to Goofy Gooners, but they will pick up an inhib
Yep.
here for the mid lane. We do see Leona here looking for it. The Zenith Blade going to connect onto there, but Edge of Night's going to take that away. We do see that Rigor Mortis is going to fall, trying to sleep. Does not sleep anybody there. I didn't see who he slept, but then that's going to be dead for Kirsten. That's 3 more kills towards Goofy Gooners, and this is looking very good. Baron to push it down right now.
Yeah, and ID Ignite, once again, right idea, just pour on the execution. They got the inhib. It was a nice trade for that Baron that you were going to lose with those 2 picks that Goofy Gooners was able to find. I don't think both of them needed to die, though. And this is a Jinx that's going to be excited. Are they pushing for end here?
I think they're looking for it right here, right now. Tristana going to be burst down here. Cho'Gath looking to E, and Cho'Gath will eat Tristana. That's Calling in. Go Gooners. TP here from Bessa. Looking to end. Well, these two members stop. Cassante here with Rel. They don't have enough damage. Just two of them there. Rel's gonna flash out. All that will come out. Trying to do as much damage as he can. But Cassante does not have great AoE damage. And that will be game for Goofy Gooners.
Yeah, and Goofy Gooners, credit to where credit is due. Definitely took the mistakes that ID Ignite threw at them and ran away with the game. It was a couple of picks, just back to back to back that ultimately did ID in. I liked their approach to how they were playing the map. It came down to execution. Too many missteps, too many members getting caught out, and Goofy Gooners was able to capitalize, pick up that game 1 win. Saw CB
Good.
Batman looking at the post game screen. Did the most damage in the game on the Cassante. Tank, by the way. But wasn't enough to secure that win. I mean, this series is shaping up to be a banger, right? Both of those teams had ample opportunities to close it out throughout the series. Mistakes from both, capitalizations from both. And Goofy Gooners able to pick up that game 1. But I suspect we could potentially go full 3 games with how that game 1 went.
Hopefully, I don't think draft was. I don't think they should change draft at all. I think I like these kind of draft. What do you think, Righteous? Do you think they should change draft at all for both teams?
Um, I think Goofy Gooners got a little bit bailed out from getting those catches. I wasn't a big fan of their draft, and we saw in the fights that did happen, the straight up 5v5s, how hard it was for them to actually pull them off. I think ID Knight, on the other hand, you're wishing you had that one back because realistically, you should have, would have, could have all day. They probably had that game 1 if they were able to execute just a little bit better. They did not, though, and that's why we play the game. We don't just draft and decide who wins. So I would like to see Goofy Gooners not opt into almost full melee squad while leaving Lily up. But we're for him in this game, so who knows for game 2. Sides will be staying the same for the second game. ID choosing the blue side. Like I said, they're probably looking at this game going, man, we should have had that one. And now the pressure is on. Backs against the wall. They have to win the next 2. They got to perform the reverse sweep in order to get into the play-ins for playoffs. Otherwise, their season will end here. We will have to see what they're cooking. If there's a time to pull out a spicy pick, a pocket pick, some new strat that they've been working on, it's now. Otherwise, they're not going to have the opportunity here in the future.
I do agree with you right there. Anyways, while we are getting ready to join lobby for game 2.
Looks like we're gonna take a quick break. Might be the full 5 minutes, might not be. Be watching. Oh no, maybe ours are coming through. Maybe. I don't know. Should we stick around? Soulkeeper, producer, make the decision. Okay, we're going to the 5. We were told to take the 5, so we will be back after a quick break. bringing us in?
Oh, you got it.
Okay, welcome back,
What's up?
everybody, to the Game 2 draft. We are already in draft. Bans are about to come through. ID Ignite opting for blue side once again after that game 1 loss. No ban. Interesting. Seems like all hell is broken loose. Nobody knows what's going on. We're gonna remake the draft. Okay, I like this. We'll start fresh. Um, but yeah, so ID Ignite, unable to close out that game 1. Couple of missteps, couple of mispositions. Ultimately, meant that Goofy Gooners was able to run away with the game with that Nunu and Speedy Cho'Gath. You were asking me about your thoughts or my thoughts after that game 1, but what about you, La La Land? What were some things that you liked, or some things you didn't like? Some things you wish you would see both of these teams change as we get into this game 2 draft.
I really like the. Well, you can't go any wrong with Cassante, right? Maybe they do ban the Cassante for this top laner, just so that Mbessa has a better lane matchup at least. I think they could hope top lane, but maybe that's meh. But we're in draft. I'll talk a little bit more as picks coming by. ID Ignite do ban Draven.
Yeah, so typically when we've seen Draven brands, at least in the pro scene, on the blue side, it means they're setting up for a Callista B1. Don't know if that's actually the case or if Goofy Gooners is just really good at Draven. But Draven will be taking away that Nico we saw from the lone first phase ban of game 1 carrying over into game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so another thing to note, Ignite was unable to pick up that win despite, being up or 2 bans, as you called it, Cassante taking off the board.
Yep. Same 3 bans from the first draft. Drake Maokai Jinx is gonna be the ban this time. Instead of
Interesting.
taking it, Hui gonna be the first pick for ID Ignite.
I wonder if this is a Hui flex pick. It's kind of lost its priority in the bot lane, but I think it's still serviceable down there. Could be a potential 3-way flex between mid, ADC, and support.
Yep.
Just cycling through some ADC champs is Goofy Gooners.
Goofy Gooners hovering Samira.
Could be
It's
the
gonna
Tristana.
Anna. Okay. Taking Tristana here for the split push, I believe.
Yeah, and
Will
it
it
was
be mid or ADC?
I'm not sure. It was a pick that was played by Ignite mid in the previous game, and the split push. I mean, the execution was almost there. Tristana was able to pick up a bunch of free towers. Well, I say free, but then something bad would happen and members would go down, and eventually the game was lost. But we saw the vision, and GG saw it as well. So they said, let's not have to deal with that again. So I imagine it's going to be Tristana and Nautilus locked into the bot lane, trying to get that Hui out of that bot lane, potentially force him into the mid. We will have to see. But once again, the blind support pick coming out from Goofy Gooners.
Yep, this time ID Ignite are going to be taking the Leona hover here. Maybe it isn't. I'm guessing it's a Leona support. Okay. It's going to be Leona locked in for sure.
Yep, once again, kind of a handshake lane.
Mhm.
We still are waiting to see if this is going to be Hui bot. I imagine it's going to go mid with Tristana and Nautilus locked in by Goofy Gooners, but you never know. Would potentially be annoying for the Tristana to deal with. The Hui poke and
Volibear.
Volibear locked in.
So, do you think this is a top Volibear or a jungle Volibear?
I think ID Ignite is kind of preserving some flexes between the Hui and the Volibear. I definitely think Volibear is a better top laner than he is a jungler right now, but could obviously be piloted in either role. As Udyr going to be the
Ooh.
response. A flex pick between top and jungle of their own is Goofy Gooners Udyr locking in.
Okay. So it's Goofy Gooners. Would you start banning ADCs or would you start banning uh jungles, top lanes? What are you thinking
I
of? I mean,
I think, I mean, they could go about it a couple of different ways. I would imagine they start betting out mids like they are with the Yone, to kind of force that Hui into the mid lane. So something you might see is like a Corki here, to get rid of the maybe Corki mid. I'm trying to think of any other. I don't imagine Jace mid's gonna be picked today. So we'll see if they continue to pitch the mid um, ADC pool. Instead, it's gonna be Gwen Hubbard and banned away. Interesting. Are they setting up for an R4 top lane pick with mid on 5? Because Yone, of course, could be a top lane champion. Not too familiar with Batman's pool, but he was doing work in game 1. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to pinch that pool there.
yeah, we're gonna see Swain be the last ban for ID Ignite. Probably just not want to deal with just something that lives too long, does damage very much well good over time. Tanky Swain has been not fun to do in my experience.
It's gonna be that Cho'Gath locked in despite some of the struggles. No.
It's a Malzahar.
Last second switch to the Malzahar. Interesting. So they banned out the Yone, but what this could open up is a potential Smolder mid with Hoi bot. Smolder loves to get free stacks on those Voidlings that Malzahar offers him, so we could potentially look for that. Otherwise, I'm not too sure what they're gonna end up picking here. Varus is still on the table. Um, it was a missed pick, Darius Hover. So I'm assuming that's Darius on the 4. It
Yep.
is. So that might be that Darius jungle you're asking for.
I'm hoping for maybe Darius Jungle is super strong at the moment. Hopefully, he does get there. And the last
R5.
pick for is Sivir.
Okay, interesting.
So Hui is going mid. Alright.
Wait, we'll go mid. I'm imagining Volibear goes top. And maybe they flex depending on what Goofy Gooner shows here on 5. So they could take the more favorable matchup. Interesting Sivir choice. Of course, he can spell shield the bomb explosion from Tristana's E. Don't know if it's. I mean, they're gonna have a scaling con between Sivir and Hui
Yep.
for ID Ignite. It's gonna be Gnar locked in. So maybe that is Darius top. I don't know. We'll have to see what ID Ignite prefers. Very interesting drafts. Kind of two totally different drafts from both of these teams. Wow, what are you making of it here?
I think you're right. I do believe it's a really rough lane for either or top laner against Gnar. Gnar mini form is gonna run a little bit in the early game, but I think mid game, whoever they pick top, right? ID Ignite, Bolivar, Darius is just gonna let the ball rolling probably at 4, 5, 6. I do I do think the ball lane for ID Ignite is gonna be pressured hard. Tristana and Nautilus, they're lane bullies, right? They start getting the ball rolling easy. This is gonna be a really rough game for ID Ignite.
We will have to see. It has to be said, ID Ignite. This is their season point here. If they lose, they're out of playoffs, and their Warden run comes to a close. If they win, they force that game 3, live to fight one more game. I imagine all of these players don't want to see their season to come to a close outside of playoffs. But you're right. I think either one of those matchups, the Volibear or the Darius, could struggle into the Gnar. However, I will say, it has to be said, that Batman was definitely getting the better of Aeolus. I butchering everybody's names, but the Goofy Gooners top laner, it was a rough showing, despite the win. So either way, you have to imagine that Batman's going to be coming to that lane with some confidence.
Yep, and we are going to confirm that Darius is top. So that is big flags. Darius
Yeah.
top lane. It's
You
still
can
scary.
always I mean, it's just standard to go Ghost Flash on the Darius, and as mini Gnar, you have to position extremely carefully because your jump can be interrupted by the Apprehend. And if that happens, you're basically a dead Yordle walking. So if they're able to space, shouldn't be an issue. But the kill threat is there with that Darius in the top lane.
Yep. So, Righteous, which team are you taking off a draft? Is it ID Ignite or is it Goofy Gooners?
Uh, you know, as much as I want ID Ignite to force this into a game three, for the high pressure stakes of game three, the way that they lost game one, in my opinion, was kind of heartbreaking, right? They had all the tools to close it out. If they just, honestly, if they just played a little bit better, positioned a little bit better, it probably was gonna be a win, no problem. But instead, mistake after mistake means they ended up going down in the whole 0-1. It's hard to kind of keep your mental after that. So I'm actually gonna go Goofy Gooners because of the way game one went. I do think ID Ignite has plenty of opportunities here to bring this series to 3 games, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Of course, draft is one thing, gameplay is another, and we will be back on the Rift right after a quick break.
I feel the gravity pull and it keeps me away. I would rather be here, lonely in space. I've made up my mind, I just wanna be free. I live my own life in a new galaxy.
Welcome back. Game 2. We have blue side, ID Ignite, red side, Goofy Gooners. And this is game 2, 1-0, respectively on the sides. Oh, it's 0-1. My bad. Goofy
What up
Gooners
for
have the
Goofy
lead.
Gooners? You just say that.
Yeah. We just see mids trading abilities there. Of course, Malzar E gonna do more damage than a Hoi Q. Gonna be
So yeah, has to be
blocked.
careful though. Nautilus can definitely look to roam if he wanted.
Just you get
Looks
5
like what's
points.
gonna
Well,
happen. Was
not
spotted out by
happening.
Leona.
We do
Rigor
see
Mortis.
Mortis pushed up here. This is gonna be bad. The Q star gonna do massive amount of damage. The E's gonna do just shield a little bit, but that empowered Q Udyr.
That
Woo!
means the empowered Q isn't available for the clear though, so we'll slow down Udyr a little bit. With the E start from Volibear, should be able to take the blue. Nice ward. We'll spot out Chaz Goblin, forcing Rigor Mortis onto the Wolves. So this is the second time I've seen Lethal Temple Volibear,
Mhm.
and I just have to imagine it's a mistake, right?
You
Like-
know? Oh, I don't think it's a mistake.
Really?
Are you not a Lethal Temple enjoyer?
No, I feel like it's press the attack, right? Like I get lethal tempo, especially if you go like the flicker blades build. You know, it makes sense. I just don't know how often you're gonna actually get a lethal tempo in these fights if you are the Volibear, right? Because you got Jazz Goblin with ults, you got the ults from Tristana to peel, got to deal with Udyr, Gnar. I just feel like PTA might give you a little bit more value in these ganks. Able to pop somebody. Maybe I'm wrong.
I agree with you there. It's agree to disagree a little bit. I think Lethal Temple's okay here. He does get onto maybe the tankier targets. He's gonna proc it. We do have to Wallabear passive with attack speed, so he's just trying to proc just a lot of it. W does proc Lethal Tempo, which is it's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I see the vision. I get it. PTA, you want PTA for like these people that are gonna knock you away. You want to just have the bonus adaptive damage. So.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Of course. You can make me eat crow, make me eat my words, and pop off on it. It was a pretty solid game from the ID Ignite top side between Rigor Mortis and Batman. You know, the remaining members did fine as well. It just seemed like they were the ones that were performing the best in that game one. It kind of more the same from that game one. A pretty slow early game for both of these two teams. Level 6s, we're going to have to really track when ultimates start to come through. As there's some pretty powerful ones on the board. Koosh.
Tristana gonna go in here, dropping the E, trying to get the reset, but Tomlin's gonna fight. See Batman, Darius gonna walk in. Leona's gonna try to stop this, of course. Gonna be able just to take all this damage here. And bot lane's gonna be just taking trades here. Mid lane here, the flash comes out here for Oliver. Well, that will be a flash from Malzar there too. Empowered Q only hits once and gonna be bouncing off the Oliver, not doing too big of a damage.
Yeah, it was interesting in that bottom lane fight. Koosh popped the spell shield way too early. The bomb wasn't even on the Sivir, which it gets a little bit scary if that's going to be a recurring thing.
Oh,
Batman caught out by Angel here, though.
Yep, Udyr here gonna use the Empowered Q. If you're alone, that's gonna hurt a lot.
Oh,
The Volko Q, the pull there, but does not have the Q to be able to heal up, and that'll be a first kill to the bot.
Interesting decision from Batman to pop the ghost and then flash away from his tower. I feel like he would have been able to get out if he used both those summoners defensively. Instead, was trying to look for the outplay, unable to do so.
Yeah,
First blood going to Aeolios. Aeolios. There's some weird names here in Warden. I'll tell you what.
I agree with that. Xenoblade's gonna miss there for Z-Sing, and that's not gonna connect.
Yeah. Aeolios. Okay. I promise I will butcher that again, but I will try my best not to.
I'll put with you, friend.
So a little bit of a gold lead developing for red side Goofy Gooners here. Most of that going to be found both on the side lanes. About 300 gold up is that Gnar, and 200 for that Tristana. Too early to really talk about the gold lead here. The objectives are starting to spawn, and Dragon already on the bottom side of the map. And Void Grub's going to be coming up in about 15 seconds. Nautilus is on the top side, so it looks like Void Grubs are the call. If you get an eye of the Grubs from the Darius team that wants to play 4-1, definitely makes sense. I am of the opinion that stacking Drags is the way to go in this patch. But you never want to see Darius just eating towers for free. A flash forward from Jada Jewel.
They're gonna have members here, 3 members of Gooners here. Then power ulti from O'Deer, the bounce there, but he's gonna hook 3 members, but that won't be able to do anything at all. Darius is just gonna fall right there and then, and Grubs are gonna go to the side of Goofy Gooners as well. They are going to trade the Drake here for ID Ignite.
Yeah, good Drake trade. It does mean that your top laner that does not have CP is in the hole 0-2. You know, it was a great R5 selection by Aeolios to lock in that Gnar into the Darius. So far, it's paying dividends, already up 2-0. After how game 1 went, I was a little worried, but the nerves have been calmed, and he looks like he's in a good spot.
I think Aeolus is finally saying it's my turn, you know, getting bullied from last game. To see this here, we do have positions here.
Ooh, Volibear's here.
Here, they're gonna collapse onto Nautilus, and Nautilus will fall there. That's gonna be a kill, but Tristan looking for more, will not be able to pick up Rigor Mortis, and we'll have to flash the wall, try not to give a kill them to the bot lane of ID Ignite.
Yeah, nice try by Jokic there, unable to find the Volibear. Would have been nice to see her carry the Leona into the tower. Wow, that was the longest range ultimate I've seen from a Hui. Getting lots of damage down onto Jaws Goblin, Ninja Shoyo. Making the Hui work. Already up a little bit in the farm department.
So, Regis, what do you think about Flickerbait's first item on Volibear?
I feel like if you brought Lethal Tempo, you kind of have to.
I'm actually not a fan of the item. For me, at least.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, if I'm not mistaken, have kind of switched to Banshees as we see
the flash
Ninja
gonna go in. The power ult coming from Udyr, gonna push them back here. Oh, Leona with a Zenith Blade gonna catch, and Udyr will fall, but the kill will be onto the support of ID Ignite. That's a good re-engage? Yes, re-engage onto ID Ignite. Sorry, that play just made me really confused on what just happened.
Really good run from Zhixing there. I thought Shoyo was going down, the Malzahar ultimate coming through. Mike Angel on the Udyr was there. Jaws Goblin. Ooh!
Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yeah, seeing what I'm seeing.
And this actually doesn't stop. Top lane's into there. Flash is gonna be Ghost is gonna be procced for the Darius. CB Batman gonna try to go in, but Gnar is just gonna slide into a wall and walk away. This game get with a bot lane. They're gonna try to go for more. Zenith, they're gonna connect. The ultimate will connect to the tower. This is a 2v3, but the tower will be procced, and Jokic will be able to pick Rigor Mortis up for the 1-on-1. But Silver gonna walk up, gonna take the tower shot, gonna barrier it away. Jokic here, 1v2.
They can re-engage here if Zhixing gets the combo. Looks like they don't want to risk it. They're gonna back off.
Back up, it's fine.
Oof. Batman's backstopped. Honestly, you know, not the biggest of deals if you had TP, but it's gonna mean that he either has to stick around and overextend for this last wave, or risk losing it.
Do see what dear Empower E over there, and we are both wrong, right? This is a Phantom Dancer Volibear.
Phantom Dancer Volibear.
He's cooking.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the resident jungler here. Bet you didn't see that one.
Yeah. This is a very good cook, I think.
We were talking about, you know, if you have some crazy strats, you got to bring them out now. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out on the opportunity. Jazz Goblin gonna be forced to flash away.
Leona gonna drop The ultimate there. Oh, the W caught there, but then you see Joker's going on here to the Sivir. Koosh in danger. Oh, what is happening? There's so many fights happening. One in bottom, the other thing. They're gonna catch the support of Goofy Gooners here. 3 members.
Jewel, we've done it. Everybody's done it who's ever played Nautilus. You throw out the hook and you immediately regret your decision. Went on a ride that he was never going to get him out of. Donates a kill over. It happens, but it does mean that it's going to be at least 4, or the remaining 3 grubs picked up by ID Ignite.
And we do see what a plate goes to Jokers, but getting poked out by this Sivir, of course. Do see 3 members here down, trying to secure the next Drake. Goofy Gooners trying to prepare.
Yeah, it's going to be theirs. Rigor Mortis is clearing out their blue side, so it's just going to be another handshake of the neutrals. Mountain Dragon going to go Goofy Gooners' way. Zuntal already completed for the Tristana.
Very strong item indeed on these attack speed ADCs, you know, getting that little bit of attack speed during all those fights. And this is
Kings are coming out. It's interesting. Volibear is heading towards top side, but Hui is poking in that river. Has to be careful. Does back on out. Rigor Mortis spotted out by Ward.
do you see that GG are gonna
He's about to go Mega. Rigor Mortis. This is a Phantom Dancer Volibear, kind of squishy.
Yep, we do see that GG here. They're already on the Drake, not contested at all. No trades mid here. Volibear stealing the camps.
Ooh, Aeolus has the ultimate
Ooh.
available. Batman in a
Pause back.
tough spot.
It's gonna
Interesting
connect
that
you.
Gnar didn't want to follow that.
Yeah, it was a good plan. Oh, scratch that. Rigmar's is gonna do a drive-by. And be able to pick up that kill. We do see Udyr caught here. The ultimate
Great, Leo.
connect. The Xenoblade gonna connect. Q stun there, but then the members are here. Bot lane Sivir, ADC Koosh. Gonna be able to pick it up and we'll get that kill. Now we see Gnar and Darius scrap a little bit more.
Mike Angel returning home. Yeah, just a little bit of a greed there, looking to pick up the chickens. You got the dragon, you need Volibears on top side, but with the kill that happened in mid, you just gotta run away at that point instead. Donates yet another kill, so while Aeolios is having a redemption game, Angel and Jazz Goblin are struggling.
But Rigor is up here trying to look for the gank. The Q will
Got
connect.
it.
When we going in,
Has
the
the
ultimate will
ult.
be committed.
Oh,
TV Batman, this is a
no.
2v1, but the tower does not get saved for that long, and that's gonna be a double kill towards Aeolios.
Miscommunication there. It looked like Batman was willing to walk away. Volibear said, no, we're in it till we die, and that's exactly what happened.
Okay, Joker's gonna W in. Spell Shoot's not gonna connect, but it will block the E. We do see Tristana going all the way in there. Legal Temple ultimate won't kill the Sivir. Tristana. That's gotta feel a little bit bad, right?
Yeah, forced to use the barrier. Tristana unable to pick up the kill, but will get plenty of pressure on this bot lane tower,
We do see
forcing
a
out the
TP
TP of
from
Hui.
Volibear is here with the
Ooh.
ultimate does not connect, does not stun. Will get slow though. And we just see Gnar pushing top here for the feats.
Yep, feats of strength almost secured by the Goofy Gooners. Respect flash from Jaded Jewel on that Leona. I imagine he probably could have got out if it did connect, but better safe than sorry. And, you know, if you're going off the feel of the game, you would imagine that Goofy Gooners was ahead in gold, but it's actually a handful, 400 gold down. Kind of interesting. But you look at the CS between mids, and you start to understand why.
Did you show you actually proving that wave first pick is very scary, you know? Maybe it's a Great prio pick that they wanted to have.
Uh-oh.
Catch that. That's an all. His ulti gonna be dropped onto CV
Oh.
Batman. This Darius is gonna be pushed to the wall. Won't be stunned, but that's 3 members. Darius gonna get a really big heal, but he does not have 5 stacks of hemorrhage. He will be picked up. here,
Maybe
right?
if the Darius wasn't 0-3 before that play, he could have made some magic happen. But this is not Batman's game. It's a tale of 2 games for him.
Yeah.
Looked so good on the Cassante. Koosh.
We do see that Goofy Gooners will pick up the first tower there, and we'll be able to get feats of strength, but Jokic is going to be surrounded by 4 members. That's a silver ulti committed there, and Leona's. That Tristana will fall.
Is it Jokic or Jokic? I'm thinking of like the Joker. Anyways, I really liked the aggression from Tristana. Knew that the tower dive was coming through. Looked for the 1v1 onto the Sivir. Kush with the ultimate, able to survive just long enough to make that play happen. Rift Herald will go down, and so the feats of strength secured by Goofy Gooners. Oh, Jokage. Okay. Would have never got that. Thank you for the assist there, Schmith.
Jokage? We've been... Oh, I'm so sorry, Jokage.
Hey, man. Unless they give us a pronunciation guide, it's our best guess. We guessed wrong. Dragon
Alright.
will be spawning here in 20 seconds. River Prio has been secured. Zhixing with a nice bait, it looks like.
Udyr dropping the big ult,
Oh.
though. That's gonna be spelled away, not ulti, but they're gonna keep chasing here, committing. Kush already used the flash trying to get out, but won't, and that's gonna be a shutdown going to Mike Angel here. Jokage alone over here, and they're gonna be taking the dragon on the cast, but Volibear, Rigor Mortis will take that mid tower in exchange for that.
Yeah, and all the gold is even. The game state got really hard with that dragon. Gonna
Yeah,
be picked
but
up by Goofy Gooners.
1v1
Actually,
happening mid here.
I
Another
say
fighting
that.
in the pit here. 2v3. What?
Oh my goodness, look at the
pick it up.
damage.
Well, Hoy was gonna trade there for sure. The
Boy
mid fight
picks him too. The fear. Ninja Shoyo.
going off.
Way.
Hoy's gonna be there, but Aurelios is
Oh,
here.
the
to come in
fear.
the Mega Gnar. Not gonna be there. We do see Rigor Mortis on the
Oh.
backside, but they're gonna be able to peel away and get that, and Rigor Mortis is gonna fall to Jokage.
I thought Shoyo had it in the bag. The quadra kill coming through, but was not meant to be. Jokage and Aeolios doing enough, but it does mean enough pressure was put on the bottom side of the map that tier 2 does go down. So some consolation gold coming through.
Yep. A lot of things are happening mid game. Very scary.
Yeah, I mean, so blue side is down about 2,000 gold, right? But they do have a 3-1 Sivir and a 4-1 Hui that are just doing nothing but scaling. So the later that this game goes, you have to imagine the easier it's going to get for the side of ID Ignite, as it's another ADC issue. This time, Goofy Gooners going to be at fault. But yeah, I mean, the scaling should come through from the Hui and Sivir. So despite Darius being 0-4, not all is lost for ID Ignite. Their playoff hopes still remain alive until that Nexus does explode. But if you're the Goofy Gooners, you have to think that this early game has gone just about as well as you could have hoped for if you're Jokage and Aeolios. The mid-jungle duo struggling just a bit.
I do agree with you there.
As we await this pause, Mr. Producer, who's putting the most money on who? What were the predictions like? Heavily favored for GG. Okay. 6.6 thousand gold points put on GG to put on a 2-0 sweep. And the game state definitely means that they could potentially snowball the lead. 1 minute until Otacon spawns. I imagine it's going to be another ruinous Otacon. Last time they got the Otacon, but were forced off the blood petals. This time around, I'm imagining that they're gonna want to get the whole shebang. Going to be interesting to see. It will be on top side that objective will spawn. Talking about the different Volibear build coming through the Phantom Dancer into what I believe is going to be that Glacial.
I got you. Is it called? I'm gonna call it by the original Iceborne Gauntlet.
Iceborne.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
I think Rigor Mortis is having fun with the build. I don't know if they actually built it like this, but I actually built Glacial or Iceborne first. I'm weird. I like doing weird stuff, but it's fun, you know. Like Volibear has so much like creativity towards it because we do have Jack of all trades, you know. Like yeah, so that helps with like the damage that you can. So you can just build whatever you feel like and test
I mean,
around.
you're in essence doubling Phantom Dancer's move speed when it procs, right? Because they get slowed, and you still have that 8% move speed buff. So I guess like in a 1v1 or a skirmish situation, I could see it working. Jury's still out. I'm not totally convinced that this is the most optimal way to play Volibear, but 2, 3, and 4, despite being 40 CS down, is still a menace in these fights. A lot of pressure is going to be on Ninja Shoyo and Kush to turn this game around and force a game 3. CB Batman, the early game hasn't gone his way, but we saw from game 1, the skill is there. And, you know, once he finally gets his first item, could do some work on the side lanes, depending on how things shake out.
And we're coming back from the unpause.
But wait, there's more.
We're into the spectator delay. Trying to get Righteous. What do you think so far of this of Ninja Soyo's Hoi? They did first pick this. Do you think it's working very well? Do you have any disagreements right now?
No, I mean, I like the build, the double burn. You know, I really did think that he was gonna get the quadra kill there on the post dragon fight. Did not, but you saw the individual prowess with the champion. And honestly, an easy way to pop Malzahar's shield is just a quick Quake Q. And then once that happens, if it's Meganar and Tristana jumping in, it's gonna be all 5 members grouping up for a juicy whale. So could do some damage. However, this game, in game 2, it seems like they've been a little bit late to the objective parties, so I would definitely like the side of Way. Ooh, nice ultimate from Alio.
They're gonna be looking here. All 4 members of Goofy Gooners are here just for this Darius and the Rock the Boulder, the lion statue. We'll pick up the Darius here. CB Batman.
Right as Otacon spawns, so I believe they're just gonna make their way straight up. Jazz Goblin gonna back to match the way on the bottom side. And I mean, a great timer to make that play. CB Batman using both of their summoner spells as well. Finally got their first item, but this game has been rough for the ID Ignite top laner.
Otacon not gonna be contested. The ultimate drop gonna be there. TP from this Gnar almost having Mega. This is gonna be an interesting 2v2, but Volibear will be able to pick up Malzar. This is a 1v2, but the Fed Gnar is gonna go in. Another lion statue will take another kill. That is
Aeolios
trade 1-for-1.
looking great on the Gnar. It was a 1-for-1 trade. Tier 2 did go down, so ID Ignite staying proactive on the cross map trades. It seems like when they make these cross maps, I say proactive, it's really reactive to what had just happened on that top side of the map.
Mhm.
And when that happens, I mean, yes, you're getting gold in your pocket. Yes, you're doing the smart thing. But eventually those mistakes have to stop if they want to come back into this game. Only 1,000 gold separating these two teams, so definitely within striking distance to make a comeback. But the more gold that's handed over freely, the harder it becomes.
But we're gonna see double engage here. The counter engage coming out from GG. They're gonna sacrifice Jaded Jewel there. GG's willing to throw away their support there. Really good engage from ID
Yeah,
Ignite.
we see the problem with Nautilus. Once you go in, you really can't go out, so gonna be the sacrificial lamb. Um, at the end of the day, a support kill at this juncture doesn't really mean much. There's really nothing on the map for ID Ignite to try to get. Dragon will be spawning here in 40 seconds, and they got to do a better job of their dragon setup. So far, they've been late to those objectives. With Hui putting pressure on the bottom side of the map, you would hope they can get the river control, but Kush, 2 autos and half their health gone from the Tristana.
Yep, this is gonna be a Tristan alone. Jokage gonna be there, but my
Ooh,
Angel's gonna be
Angel
caught
caught out.
on the roof there. Unstoppable does not know he can move out, and then he will be picked up there. And Ninja Shoyo. What?
Oh,
Z
Jishin
Sting
going
is looking
for
for
a ride.
more, but Okage gonna be there to do lots of damage. Very good. But Darius is still on top here. No TP.
I mean, they got the pick on the jungler, which is what you always want to do before these objectives come up. And then Jishing forced to flash away off of an ill-advised Zenith Blade. Darius, of course, doesn't have TP to get into this fight. It's a 4v4. But with Leona so far down in health, it's going to be Darius having to force the issue, make a response come through if they really want to get this dragon.
Yeah, Darius already claimed one tower. I don't think he's going to be able to claim this inner tower here, but they know Darius responding. Maz are going to go deal with him, knowing that may not have TP. Okage being very bold here. Half chunked right there already. Ultimate's going to drop. Oh, CB Batman does pick up the inner tower of top lane. Taking a lot of
he's
damage
getting
from the Void
spaced.
lanes. He's going to be able to pull back, but Jazz Goblin
He just got spaced so hard.
with a
But
mid lane
the
fight
ultimate-
here. Oh, they're gonna get so much there. The support, and everyone going down. Support already down for ID Ignite. They're gonna keep continuing the fight. Jokage is still alive. The bot lane is alive for Goofy Gooner, but the Sivir will get killed. The kill with the back of the boomerang and the kite there for Ninja Soyo there is gonna be able to kill the support.
CV Batman 0-6 on the game, but the presence is still felt. Got the tier 2 tower, forced the Malzahar away from the dragon. A big ultimate from Ninja Shoyo. Jokage wishes he could get that Tristana jump back, actually jumped into the damage from that ultimate, which meant Kush had just enough to get the kill. Jazz Goblin is here, he doesn't have the ult.
Is he willing to throw?
Oh, nice speed
Oh,
boost from that Scryer's orb. Ninja flashing.
Oh, with the
it's
blast
both
code
the
into-
abilities.
Jazz Goblin will take vengeance for his bot laners.
Ugh. Dragon was secured. A nice 2 kills from Jazz Goblin and a little bit of a dance flex in the mid lane because Baron is on the table and both of the carries from ID Ignite are down. Oh, but Jazz Goblin.
These things gonna go in. The ultimate's gonna connect on Volibear, but there are 5 members versus 2. They're gonna be able to pick them up here. Goofy Gooners are gonna pick up the outer tower, and they're gonna be able to pick up.
They're going to
2
pick up.
members there.
They're going to probably. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just go for the inhib here. Instead, I think it's going to be a tier 2 and a Baron. Oh,
Oh,
looks like they're trying for it.
they don't really care. CB Batman's like he's willing to try to trade this, but Malzar has TV back. Jazz Goblin going to deal with him.
Yeah,
The inhib
CB
tower does not
Batman.
fall.
Gonna have to run away. Now, what this does mean, pings are coming out onto the Baron side by ID Ignite. Both of the carries are back up, so Could get a little dicey here on this Baron
We're
take.
going
CB
from Darius
Batman.
here. He's looking for the 1v1 here. He's like, I'm running
Jazz
it
Goblin
back.
doesn't have the ultimate
Oh,
available.
the dunk happens in the first kill that he gets it there. He's having a little bit of redemption for himself right there.
Oh no,
But the Baron's
Goofy
getting
Gooners, what's
further.
happening?
The ultimate's gonna be dropped from the Hui. Leona's gonna go in. The Barons that will be secured by Goofy Gooners. This is a 4v4, but they will be leaving their jungler to fall. And the support is already
Yeah.
falling.
At the end of the day, 2 members will walk away with the Baron, but honestly, a nice play by Batman. Finds the solo bolo, almost takes that inhibitor as well. So Batman, despite having a rough early game, showing the prowess on the split push, and really only 1,000 gold separating these two teams. Baron was secured by Goofy Gooners, but with only 2 members that have it, I don't know how much they're going to be able to get with it.
We do see 5 members here looking for anything they can get, and the Goofy Gooners playing ID Ignite. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let you go, Rigor Mortis. You sold your Phantom Dancers for quick plates. I
Oh,
gotta
what
put
the
that
heck?
out.
I wonder if it was a misclick when he bought it initially.
I think so. They're right next to each other. So
I wonder if he's looking at his items like, what the heck? Why do I have Phantom Dancer? Either way, this is a little bit more standard from the volley bear.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, gold just about a dead even. The next dragon here is going to be in a minute and 40. And the way the fights that have been going with Ninja Shoyo present, gotta think ID Ignite have enough to potentially force this game 3. But right now, it's anybody's guess as to who will walk away with a win here in game 2.
Mhm. Once again, they're looking
Oh,
for
no.
TV Batman. He's alone. He doesn't
Batman's
have build.
alone. Oh, he got out though.
Oh,
He did
but
get out.
Yokage and them do commit a little bit, but we do see Elios here. Is it time for which top laner gets jumped? Okay, Oliver's gonna flash Q the commit. Nara's gonna back up a
All
little bit more,
hits.
but Hui's ulti's gonna connect. The Lightning Storm
Ooh.
gonna connect there, and Hui's gonna combo right there. And then they will be able to pick up Aloyos. Am I saying Aloyos right?
Aeolios.
Aeolios? Okay, we're still gonna keep butchering your name.
That was a nice pick. Dragon spawning, gonna have plenty of time to back and get to that objective. So, it looks like it should be Soul Point going to ID Ignite if all 5 members are able to get to this objective. Mike Angel, though, looking for potential Death Brush with his support. Now, that is a 2-6 Udyr and a 1-7 Nautilus trying to get the jump on someone, so I don't know if it will work
Oh,
out, but
they
we'll
will.
have
They're-
to see.
They will jump into the deer. CB Batman's gonna be able to take that empowered Q, gonna do lots of damage. But Joe Kage's here to back them up. Mike Angel will take the kill. This is gonna be a 5v4 TP. From Malzer's gonna connect down here. Nara's making his way down.
And Nar doesn't even have to TP now, and I might have caster cursed them because I think this is Soul Point for Goofy Gooners here instead. Ill-advised face check from CB Batman means yet another free objective for Goofy Gooners, and that's kind of been the story of this series. Just individual members of ID Ignite getting caught out, and Goofy Gooners benefiting immensely from it.
They're not gonna face check, but Jazzgun spell shield will take that. Oh, the flash ulti from Jazzgun, but it's gonna be denied by G-Sing, but they're gonna keep looking for more. The ultimate won't kill Ninja Sawyer here, but we see Goofy Gooners going even deeper. They're trying to get these kills here. That will be 2 for them for sure, and they're gonna be pushing this bot lane down. How will ID Ignite react to this? They're gonna continue these fights.
Batman's
This is-
here, has the ghost, has the ultimate, but with all 5 members, Goofy Gooners here, I don't imagine a fight would be favored by Ignite. There is no wave, however, so 2 kills and a tower would be all that Goofy Gooners is able to pick up.
Very good here. We do see the ADCs here finishing their 4th item for 100% crit. Malzar picks up a death cap, finally catching up to the counterpart of Hoi. But gonna have a little bit more AP, picking up the rod instead of a blighted jewel. You know,
Yeah, I mean, not a
Little points.
ton of magic resistance from Goofy Gooners, so I do like the funny hat pickup by the Hui. He's gonna be doing a ton of damage. The problem is, and like I said, it's been a problem this whole series. For every one thing that ID Ignite does right, it seems like 2 or 3 bad things happen to him. And so, despite Ninja Shoyo having an amazing performance on this pick, Sivir Kush doing it as well. I mean, I just
Oh.
spoke into existence. I thought Leona was gonna get caught there, but at this point, it wouldn't have been too surprising, right? It just seems like ID Ignite can't help themselves getting picked off one by one.
And all 5 members from ID Ignite are here. Even Darius not split pushing this time, but Nar does have TP. Still in mini. Does not have Mega yet.
And I mean, honestly, he has the TP. There's no reason for him to be there. The river control is just all Goofy Gooners right now. Rigor Mortis and
Okage gonna
Jishing.
put a little bit of damage here. Rigor Mortis just getting poked down. Has no defensive stats for this. And then we just see the TP from Aloyos going down. The ultimate's gonna drop onto the Darius. Not be able to go in the backline here. We just see the jungler of Golden
Whoa!
Goofy Goobers. And there we go in. They're gonna be able to pick up that kill.
Right. Did you see that? The,
Yes,
the Gnar ult into the blasting cone. That guy just went 2 screens from where he was.
Goobers are gonna pick up once again 3 members. This was looking more like an end angle to me.
Yeah, this is going to
Whoa.
be game 2 going Goofy Gooner's way. There's going to be no tiebreakers. And I think this is where ID Ignite's story ends. What could have been had they played just a little bit cleaner? We'll never know because it is a 2-0 for Goofy Gooners. I mean, what a series. Goofy Gooners. Making proactive plays, making the picks, and ultimately making the series go their way 2-0 ID Ignite. I'm going to wish they played a little bit better here. Their chapter of Warden comes to a close. They will miss the playoffs. We bid them farewell and hope they are back next split. Lala, I mean, that's a Goofy Gooner squad that will be going into the playoffs either as the 4 or 5 seed. Are they might be just stuck at the 5 seed. I'm not too sure. Either way, they're gonna have to make the play and run. From what you saw in this series, do they have enough in the tank to maybe upset some people?
I think so. I think it's a nice showing that they're able to play with heavy drawbacks, right? Even if one lane fails, the others will succeed. So it's very good to see those coming back. Yeah, I don't got much to say. I mean, it's a really great game that we see for both teams at all, and I hope that ID Ignite do come back. You know, we do welcome them. They try their best to have their spot, but congratulations to Goofy Gooners and
Yeah. If all things stand the way that they are right now, Goofy Gooners will be taking on Definitely Not Lit next week in the play-ins. If they raise to the 4 seed, they'll be taking on, I believe, TDK. And yeah, I think game 1 draft maybe it got a little bit too far away from them, but they did ultimately pick up the win. Game 2 though, you know, we talked a little bit about the Udyr, the Malzahar kind of struggling there in the early portions of the game. But the side stepped up, Gnar stepped up, Aeolios, after a rough game 1, able to put the team kind of on his back into game 2. And I think, you know, Goofy Gooners, if they're able to clean some stuff up, if they're able to kind of solidify what they're trying to accomplish in the game, their identity, could definitely make a deep run. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't be able to Of course, we have to talk about ID Ignite. So close to securing their spot in that play-ins as well. Unfortunately, unable to do so. And yeah, I mean, we definitely hope that they're back next split. There were some good, high moments there. I think both of those games, they could probably look back and say we could have won that had this happened or had we done this differently. And that's why you play the game. You play to improve, you play to get better. Hopefully they learn from it, and we will see them back next split. Looks like we're getting some calls for an interview. I am not going to make the decision. That goes with the producers. I'm always for interviews. It was a quick 2-0. We got a little bit of time, I would say. But I will wait for the confirmation. Okay, producer is on the case. If players want to get interviewed, I won't say no. But if they don't want to, then we obviously can't force them. Yeah, I mean, what a series. I I just have to imagine if you're ID Ignite, both of those games at points had leads, different ways that they could have won. Obviously feels bad to miss out on playoffs, but you have to be proud of what you showed despite the 2-0. And hopefully they're not kicking themselves too hard. Instead, focusing on the positives. We wait to see if this interview is going to happen. No response. We can't wait here forever. So it's either now or never. Calls for interviewing the ADC in top from Jaded Jewel, their support. So their support wants to see it happen. Hopefully we can get that done. But Lala, it's been fun. Okay, looks like we're getting the mid laner in. Jazz Goblin here. We will wait for them. You're thinking of some quick questions, Lala.
All
We
right.
are. We're joined by Jazz Goblin. Jazz, congratulations on your win. You already had playoffs locked up, but no tiebreaker to be played. Coming off of that 2-0 victory, how you feeling heading into playoffs?
I'm feeling great. We took a lot of practice this weekend to really hone in on our comps and what we want to run, and I'm feeling great after that. I think that was a big confidence boost for the team.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really good. Talk to us a little bit about that game one draft. We thought you might have been cooking a little bit too much, able to pick up the victory. Is that part of that practice you've been talking about the Cho'Gath mid, maybe a different style with that Nunu?
That is something of my own little creations in the mind of mine. I think Cho'Gath mid is the most busted champ in the game right now, and I think especially when it's paired with a Nunu, you just eat every objective on the map, and the enemy gets suffocated out slowly but surely.
There you go. It looked like it was piloted rather well. Of course, you were able to find some picks there in the later portions of the game to kind of close that game out. As it stands, depending on how the seeding goes right now, you're penciled in to take on Definitely Not Lit in the play-ins. What can we expect from you and the squad as your playoff run begins next week?
Ooh, I don't want to reveal too much, but
Don't reveal too
let's
much,
let's
obviously.
just say I I I'm excited to see either team because I think we're cooking up some devious stuff on our end, and I'm just excited to see if it comes to fruition in the way that I'm thinking about it.
Okay. Would you consider yourself kind of like the mastermind behind the Goofy Gooners drafts, the game prep, everything like that?
Sadly, I can't say that 100%.
Okay.
I can't take credit for it all. I think I make some freaky stuff work in the mid lane. I got some really good picks in the jungle to pair with me. But the big guy who runs most of the draft is Alex, and he's really what stops us from picking something freaky like Darius mid.
Okay, okay.
I'd let it go through. Not to
We
reveal
almost got
anything, of course.
a Darius mid, is what it sounds like. Lala, you got any questions for our good man Jazz here?
I don't. I mean, blue Skittles or red Skittles?
Okay,
Oh, blue.
okay.
Blue all the way. I'm a
That's
big
interesting.
blue raspberry guy.
The
I
tropical Skittles. I see.
Mhm.
I think oh wait, tropical? That's what you meant? Nah, I'm OG original. I like sour too.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be Cho'Gath ulting on Skittles next game maybe.
I'm
I'll
down
just
with the
put it in my
sour
head.
Skittles. All right, Jazz, we appreciate the interview. Once again, congratulations for your 2-0. The time is now yours. Any shout outs, anything you want to say before we bid you farewell?
I'd like to really just shout out my my main man, Chris. He's the best guy in here. He's a Schmiff in the chat. Favorite guy. Uh, I think he deserves a lot of credit. He's a big like cheerleader for the team. He actually you don't know this, but there's a feature film that he was in many years ago where he played a Greeble. So that's some real lore
Okay,
for
there you
you.
go. Some Goofy Gooners lore coming at you. Jazz, we appreciate the interview. Congratulations on your win and good luck heading into playoffs.
Hey, thank you, thank you.
Alrighty, that was Jazz, the mid laner of Goofy Gooners. Able to pick up the 2-0 victory. ID knocked out of playoff contention. Their season ends today. And Goofy Gooners going to go on into the play-ins, going to either face Team Death Knights Blue or definitely not lit, depending on their series results later on this evening. I've been Righteous. That was La La Land, of course, as always, Soulkeeper joining us with their wonderful producing. Lala, you got anything else to say before we wrap this one up?
No, I don't really have much. Oh, the standings of the other matches. Dog C versus AKM. They're at 1-1 right now, and they're going to game 3. If they are streaming it or playing it out somewhere else, I would ask production. Are they?
No idea.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna be sending you guys over there. It's on one of the other players over there on Sherry's. I don't have anything much. Uh, I just want to thank Righteous. Thank you for casting.
Yeah, it
Great
was
man.
fun. It was a fun match to cover. As always, thank you so much, you wonderful viewers, for tuning on in. We will be sending you guys over to Cherry's stream so you guys can watch their point of view for Game 3. And we hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. You all have a good one.
Good night, guys.
Nope.